Peace, peace, water, her family. I am here to give a collective message. First and foremost, I want to thank God for covering us and all my viewers and anyone that this video is shared with. And may it reach whoever needs to hear this message at this time. And thank you, Most High God, for using me as a conduit of truth, clarity, and unconditional love. So it is. Amen. First and foremost, always put God first. Always believe in yourself. Always talk good to yourself and about your life. We're going to get into a general collective message. Stick around, take what resonates, what doesn't, let it fly. And please show this channel support by subscribing, sharing, commenting, engaging. I really do appreciate all the engagements, all the likes, all the shares. So appreciate it. Water her. So let's jump in. Let's see what is on the heart and the collective at this time. Is that more thunder? What's on the heart of the collective right now? Looks like this is going to be a message around your personal relationships. So whether this is, we're going to stick with this energy here. Only you, devoted, attached, crave. So we have only you, bitterness, distance, and finality. Well, oh, wow. Collective. I feel like right now there's a theme going on around relationships. There could be some cycles that you have been in some intimate relationships you've been in. So I'm speaking only to people who have been in partnerships. Obviously, a loving partnership where there was this devoted, attached energy, but it looks like due to um, anger, resentment, hurtful words, or just some type of bitterness has kind of pervaded in this connection and has created distance or separation from you and the person you love. And some of you could be processing a breakup that already happened. Um, yeah, some of you have already gone through this separation, this breakup, where you are finally making closure with it, or this is what is in the atmosphere right now, where there's certain relationships that I see that are, definitely not going to make it. And, it's sad, I know, but there's a lesson here, most importantly, for you to learn about anger, resentment, hurtful words, and unhealthy space in a relationship, allowing things to just grow out of control to the point where, yes, this devoted energy is now severed energy with finality here, showing that this ultimately is leading to a farewell or did lead to a farewell. So I do see this as being processed in the collective at the time. Some of you could have definitely struggled with bitterness because of boundaries being crossed. Um, some of you just felt like you weren't, like you were just getting hopeless, or you reached some type of breaking point, overwhelmed, limit, final straw, and then boundaries is saying, drawing the line, no, enough. So conflicted. Okay, so collective is feeling like, you had to make a decision that was hard, though you didn't want to. So it's a very conflicting decision. Or this could be the energy that you're currently in, or you will be in eventually, where you will have to make a decision. Or this, you will have to make a decision. This can also be considered a warning as well too. But there is a overwhelm here about this decision that was made or could be made later on. Wow. Whew, some heavy stuff. Yeah, this is definitely somebody you have an intimate relationship with, where once it felt safe, intimate, lots of bonding, lots of love and goodness in this connection. Very attracted to one another, very deeply intimate, but so many unresolved issues here, or just repetitive cycles that are playing out where it's like either these cycles will need to be broken up with, or this relationship will ultimately end if it has not already. So that is not the best news, but there's a lesson. Um, that yeah, some of you are definitely some of you are already single from going through this, or this will be the next move is withdrawing and being single because of boundaries. Boundaries are not being honored, boundaries are not being set, boundaries are, you know, like enough is enough. If you guys have been tolerating certain treatment or behaviors or things that you know are not really the healthiest or what you need or want, like if you haven't tried, I would advise you to definitely try to set boundaries if it's possible to like improve upon this connection. But ultimately, I feel like for those of you who have been in this cycle for quite some time, who are just overwhelmed and kind of burnt out, yeah, there is a setting a boundary with this person and choosing to leave them behind. Yeah, but this is not an easy one. I do feel like in my heart there's a lot of mixed emotions, mixed feelings about it, only because this person was a soulmate, or there was a deep love and unity and connection with this person where, like I said, it started off with only you, devoted, soulmate, deep love, and then somehow this distance and separation and resentment and all this weird bitter energy came up. So let's see what's going on with this bitterness. What caused bitterness in this connection that collective is processing or going through right now? What caused this bitterness? I feel like a lack of transparency did. There's a lack of communication or transparency and just being open about yourself and feelings or maybe intentions. Some of you could have been dealing with individuals who just started being a little bit more sneaky, reserved, or just um, just mysterious. It's like that mysterious just kind of created a lot of suspicion. The bitterness could have also just been from clarify the Page of Cups. Yes. Well, I'm seeing that somebody is masculine. By masculine here does want to apologize and reconcile. You might feel this and know this if you're a feminine. Either way, you can be a man or a woman. Masculine, feminine is not gender specific, just FYI. You can be a woman and be in the masculine that wants to apologize, and your ex or your partner is feeling this, or, other way around. But I do feel like the bitterness came from like some type of control around the emotions, or lack of control, needing to control the emotions more, or um, it's like ego is getting away of this vulnerability, because it's just like Emperor here is just somebody who wants to be in control, very logical, very masculine, but does not really make room for emotional connection all the time. So it's like this emotional connection could definitely been damaged or hurt by some type of ego or pride or stubbornness to, compromise. I do see there was hopes of a family, a long-term future, or you guys could have started a family. You guys could have had this at one point in your past. And this is why the separation is really hard, because I do feel like for whoever I'm speaking to, this collective, you've been in this relationship for quite some time. You have a lot of memories, you have a lot of things connected to this person. And so this is not an easy decision. Like, I want to cry. And I'm like, I don't even know what's going on. But collective, like, I just feel like a lot of you guys are processing a separation or something that has to come to an end, because it's become more toxic, and there's just a lot of, resentment in this connection, or there was, if you already have said farewell. Um, what else? Clarify distance between these lovers, these soulmates. Clarify distance. Yeah, there's a lack of emotional vulnerability. You see how this person's all guarded up and just kind of like on defense about everything, anything. Like, there's a lack of love, there's a lack of intimacy, there's a lack of, just connecting in a softer, more intimate, um, meaningful way. Like, there's so many arguments and things that are being pushed on the connection where it just ultimately created overwhelm and erupted back in y'all's face because all this ego, all this pride, all this, just not surrendering to the highest good of the relationship, of the connection. And that's the lesson here, is that um, when we stop being resilient, when we start to build up walls in a relationship where we're now trying to protect ourselves from our partner, this ultimately is going to create the separation, this space, this blockage, where now it's like you don't care, you're kind of isolating yourself, you're kind of pulling back, you're kind of just going off to do your own thing. The emotional connection begins to fade. And this is what I feel like whoever I'm speaking to, this collective, this is what's happened. Some of you have just gotten a little timid or scared about opening up and really going after like your fulfillment in a partnership with this person, because there's this deep love, this deep connection, this unity with this person. But unfortunately, this person became a lesson. And I just think like, yeah, that's really important to not let situations that are good turn bad or spoil. I saw 1155. So this is indicating definitely a significant change in a partnership here. What's next? Shit. What's next? Collective. Like, I'm sorry that some of you are going through this. Why is collective going through this? What is collective needing to learn from this relationship experience? Oh my God, guys, like my gut feels so bad. Like, I feel like I want to cry. Letting go and giving up is not easy. Like, it's really not. Like, it may feel that way in the moment, but what's really affecting you guys is the fact that you guys have to learn how to balance. You guys have to learn how to stand firm in what it is you're there for, what it is you love about this person, what it is that, keeps you going and motivated to be, in this divine partnership. Some of you guys were affected because you may have lost balance, where you may have came into some type of instability with your finances, your emotional stability, something with your stability where it's like you were just too up and down, too inconsistent, too, unsure, uncertain, and just constantly welcoming doubt to come in and kind of deteriorate this love, this connection. It's not that the love is gone. It just looks like it was lost through all this defensiveness and ego and clashing and differences and all this stuff where it's like you two are meant to work together to create this balance, to stand firm, to have stability in a connection, not to be on and off, love you, hate you, happy, sad, like just this roller coaster. Like, it's like stability is the goal in a relationship. And when it's just all over the place, like, yeah, you no longer feel safe, right? That's the lesson. You don't feel safe when you are threatening your intimate connection. You just don't. Like, when you are doing things that are hurting it, it needs time to repair. And it just feels like there's not enough time to repair something before something else happened. And this is what curated this ball of resentment, because it's like, I'm trying to recover from one thing, and now here we are with another thing. And now it's just like sticky. It's very sticky. So I'm sorry, collective, that this is what you're going through. But what else were you supposed to learn from this relationship? Opening heart. Whew, yeah. We have setting boundaries and courage. So look, I find that this is usually the problem in divine partnerships, is that you have this beautiful love. Like, you get this preview and this beautiful divine love from the beginning when everything is new and fresh. But when things start to get settled in, there's like fears that begin to manifest. Like, is this going to leave? Is this going to stay? Is this right for me? Is this wrong for me? I had a bad day. Like, it's coloring my mood. It's changing my fit perception. It's doing all this stuff because there's no stability in, like, I love this person. I care about this person. I want the best for this person. I want the best for myself. So I'm going to show up and, advocate for that. I'm going to do that part. I'm not going to take the part of destructing my own partnership, right? Where it's like, yes, you need to set boundaries so you can honor what you're working on in your relationship. And I feel like that is the problem, or that's the lesson you're learning here in this cycle that you're ending or soon going to be ending, is that your boundaries are necessary. Real love is not threatened by boundaries. Real love understands boundaries are there to teach you how to honor them, and how they need to honor you, and ultimately how to honor your relationship. Like setting boundaries with, I'm not going to talk about this, I'm not going to get into that, I'm not going to argue about this, I'm not going to let this disrupt my peace with you, because it's just not worth it. You are worth it. Our love is worth it more than this problem, more than this temptation, more than, we have to make these sacrifices, and making sacrifices come with setting boundaries with things that do not serve us. And then this opening heart, like, it's like you feel this profound love, but you begin to, the lesson here is, let yourself be open. Don't close yourself off, because that's what I said in the beginning. You guys began to experience challenges, obstacles, problems in the connection. And instead of seeing these are opportunities to grow, repair, get closer, and like really unify and like nurture the love, it actually deteriorated it, made somebody or both of you close off, guard yourself off, distance yourself, and just kind of like sweep shit under the rug, to where it's like there's no more joy, there's no more happiness, there's no more light when you come around this person or when you're with them, because it just feels like all these things are just like, you know, like still running behind the scenes, whether it's your reality today or not. Like, it's still affecting you behind the scenes, which is affecting your ability to open your heart. And that's the lesson here, is that if you're going to be in love, you got to be all in. And it reminds me of this thread that I saw of somebody talking about how they were commending their sister for going all in and having such an open heart, even though it led to their heartbreak. Whereas for them, like, they're scared to open their heart, that they'll sabotage the connection before they get hurt. They'll cheat first before they get hurt. They'll do things to like detach and emotionally remove themselves from the connection. So this experience of love, the pure love of that connection, is now destroyed because of this ego that's just too afraid to let the heart open and let the heart lead and let the heart, be the guide. Because in love, it's like, if you're always in the mind is always looking for some shit to argue with and debate with and be at odds with and challenge with, and all this stuff, where it's like, no, your lesson here is to be in your heart, to be firm in your knowing of your heart, to nurture what's good and true to your heart, to set boundaries from anything that's trying to challenge the love you have in your heart, and to also be courageous, because to love is to have courage, to love is to have faith and discernment and common sense to make sure you're choosing the best for you. But there has to be a courage to see something through, even when it's dark, even when it's gloomy, even when there's things going on that you guys are having to learn. Your perseverance, your resilience, the way you recover, the way you bounce back, those say more about you and your love than the problems ever will. And I just feel like that is the lesson that needs to be learned here. What's really going on? What's really going on? Like this, I'm sorry for those who are going through this. Communication problems definitely could have been the lesson here as well. Working on communication. It did say something about hurtful words. So it's like, are you choosing words to build or destroy? To speak life or to speak death? Being intentional about your words, because words, though it looks very like, you can't see the damage they do, right? But they do damage. These words hurt. They inflict wounds onto us. And then our partners do have to heal. Our partners do have to, learn to trust us again, in certain things where it's like, yeah, your lesson here is your words, your thoughts, your behaviors? And are they reflecting stability or instability? Are they consistent with what you feel, with what's good, or are they inconsistent and always like flipping and flopping and wishy and washy? Like, but I do see you are being guided to a positive time ahead. This lesson here is in preparation for you to come into a higher place in yourself, in your love life. So you do have a positive shift to look forward to. Spirit, show me what's going on with these soulmates. What's next for these soulmates? Yeah, it looks like you guys may take some time to learn and reflect and, see if this will come back, or, nah, see, collective, for a lot of you, I'm being honest, like there is a lot of time and energy you invested into this person. However, I'm just seeing it's a no right now. It's just a no, or it will be a no. Don't force it. Just don't force it. Just surrender to this change, because this change is needed, because I don't know, it looks like somebody needs to go on a personal journey here. Clarify soulmate, clarify this single, lonely. Fudge, all these cards falling now. Okay, wait a minute. I'm going to see what caused this separation between these soulmates. Ooh. You guys pretty much lost the joy, lost the love, lost the happiness in this connection from petty arguments and too passionate of, disputes and things that just were not really worth it, that just really brought an emotional reaction out of both of you that ultimately led to like an ending, or just a separation for the time being. Will they come back around to each other? Will these soulmates reconcile? I see that, right now this journey is about you moving forward, you taking your time, you being patient with the process. I don't really see a guarantee of this returning back to you, because somebody is still going to be very guarded and defensive and not really in the best courageous spirits to really see something out with you. So yeah, for now, if this is your situation, this relationship is done. It's a finale. Like, just like leave it alone, lay it to rest, learn, take the lessons and go on. What else? What's going on with these soulmates? Yeah, y'all just got to do some more work on yourself. There was just too many illusions, confusion, delusion, not enough peace, clarity. So someone is just making a decision to move away and leave this behind, because it was just too much instability, back and forth, up and down. Like, and I just think that is a lesson of, needing to get stable in yourself, your own emotions, who you are, being secure inside so you can offer a relationship security and stability. That's the lesson. Water her. Peace.